The story-based program is absolutely amazing for me, and I could see how what difference it actually made into the learning of the child. We might think that telling a story, the same story every day for 2 weeks, might become monotonous, children might become bored of it, but that is not the case. Every day, a different skill is being taught. They learn a different skill. Every day, it's different activities. So the same story, you use that same story to teach your skill, to bring your activity across. When we started the program, it was actually great because we've got all these resources. They gave us the planning, we got the 10-day cycle, you got activities, so you don't have to do much in terms of planning. The only thing that you have to do is to familiarize yourself with that cycle, with a 10-day cycle, because the 10-day cycle is something that you have to know. You have to know it out of your head. If somebody wakes you in the sleep, then you have to know it's Tuesday today. Today is role play, and this is what I have to do. I have to do my small groups. If you do your letter sound, then on Monday you introduce the letter sound. On Tuesday, you have to do your multisensory letter formation, right? So now, planning, what do I have to do? I don't have to do much. What I do, I familiarize myself with the facts that I have to know, what I have to carry over. I now need to just plan my classroom. This is good. This is what this group is doing, that group is doing that, and this is what I do. This is my whole class activity because it's set out already. I don't have to even think about what should I do now. I don't have to think about, today I would like to do phonological awareness. I want to touch on that skill. What should I do now? It is set out in this program. So all I need to do is I go to my manual, I consult it, see what I have to do, and I add a little bit of myself. If there's anything else that I want to add to the program, then I add it. This program allows the teacher also, or let me say, the activities progresses from starting with a lower level and moving up. So you can see the progression, and you can actually scaffold your activities, scaffold your learning, so that you accommodate a learner, different learners in different groups with different skill levels. So this is something about the program that is very, very useful. So what my experience was with my sequencing cards, on the second day when we do a role play, I would, for the child who does not remember the story so well, to do the role play, I would put up my sequencing cards. And if they struggle a little bit and don't know what to say, then I would say, just look at your cards. And then they would look at the sequencing cards and they would act out the story. So the sequencing cards became the cue cards, and they would use that. And this is how we can use it. The letter formation in itself is, for me personally, it was something very exciting because of the multi-sensory approach that we have to use to strengthen the letter formation. And I can see in grade 1 that is something that for some learners it is very challenging. And I feel that we need to embrace that, introducing that letter sound. So this program is actually coming to my rescue in terms of that, because it allows you to practice the letter sound. Starting, I love those chants that is in the manual that we have to use for each letter sound. You always start by the dot, goes down, up on the same line, around and stop. And I used to love doing that. And the children, they enjoy and they latch onto that so quickly that if they are not forming a letter correctly, then you can just start with that chant and they will complete it. They will do the chant and they will complete the letter sound in do the letter formation in the correct manner. Also, the multisensory part where they have to paint with water, use chalk on a blackboard, use a whiteboard with whiteboard markers. Did I say paint? Use sand, the sand pit. That was the beauty. When a child comes to you and tell me, teacher, I made the sound in the sand. That is so amazing. I absolutely love that. And the dough part, when they form the letters with the dough, and even if you have clay and they do that, tearing and pasting. And that is so good for the fine motor skills. There are so many skills. If you look at rhyming words, for example, there's a time to do rhyming words. There is a time to practice syllabification. There is a time to practice single sounds. There is a time to do blending sounds. There is a time to concentrate on beginning sound, end sound, middle sound. And it is amazing to see that when we enter into the second week, how the learners, because let me just mention, so in the first week they get that opportunity to do that drawing of the favorite part of the story, and they are able to start telling the story and saying what they have drawn. But in the next week, you can actually see how the confidence grew and how they can actually write more. If I say write, I'm talking about having a go at writing. So that oral skills that they have acquired in that very first week, you can see how it goes over into the writing part in the next week. In the beginning, you can see, you obviously have your child that might participate from day one, but you do get that shy child who doesn't have that confidence even to speak. And this story-based program that allows repetition every day, that helps the child to also participate, because I've heard this yesterday, I'm hearing it today again, tomorrow there's going to be an opportunity again. So now the child sees, but I can do it. But it is very rewarding for a grade 1 teacher to get a child from a grade R class who has been through this, going through this program, because all the skills that they learn, those skills, you can actually say they learn the skill in grade R, but coming to grade 1, it enables them to apply. And now it makes teaching certain skills in grade 1, it makes it slightly easier. Not that we want it easier all the time, but it just makes it easier for the child as well. And then that child, the skills that you need to develop in grade 1, that will absolutely, it will go quicker, faster, and it expedites that. And the skill level of the child can just go up and up.